Star Trek Deep Space Nine, though often overshadowed by The Next Generation, is considered by many fans to be the very best Star Trek TV show. In the continuation of my Top 10 series, I will be discussing my personal Top 10 episodes from Deep Space Nine. DS9 would be the first Star Trek show to begin airing while another Star Trek show was still on the air, and the creators didn't shy away from leaning into that. Creating this list was even harder than the Next Generation list. DS9 has so many amazing episodes, and it's even harder given that in the later seasons the episodes really start to become interconnected. Nevertheless, I have done my best. Honorable mentions include Starship Down, The Visitor, Probable Cause / The Die Is Cast, Our Man Bashir, and Inquisition. Now go to Red Alert, ladies and gentlemen, because there will be spoilers, mostly in Season 6. With all that out of the way, here are my top 10 episodes from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Number 10. Waltz. In this popular episode, Captain Sisko ends up stranded on a hostile planet with his arch-nemesis, Gul Dukat. Now, after suffering a pair of devastating losses in an earlier episode, Dukat went kinda insane. He now sees people who aren't really there and can be wildly emotional. But what he really obsesses over is getting validation from Sisko regarding the atrocities Dukat committed against the Bajoran people. Most of the episode ends up being a game of word chess between the two men. Both characters get a chance to shine, but the episode really belongs to Mark Alemo as Gul Dukat. The episode gives us new insights into the villain, and offers a compelling story to boot. Number 9. Trials and Tribulations. A huge step away from Waltz, Trials and Tribulations is just fun. While transporting a Bajoran orb and a passenger, the USS Defiant is suddenly whisked back in time into a literal episode of the original series. None other than the beloved The Trouble with Tribbles. It's soon discovered that their passenger was responsible, who is in fact Arn Garvin, a Klingon agent disguised as a human from the original episode. He's back to get revenge on Kirk for foiling his plans decades earlier. Now the crew of the Defiant must stop Garvin while keeping the timeline intact. It's a brilliant episode that playfully pokes fun at the original series, pays respectful homage, and uses superb special effects to place DS9 characters into shots taken straight from the original episode. It's a fun episode that's unlike any other. Number 8. For the Uniform. Again, spoiler alert. In this fierce episode, Captain Sisko is on the hunt for the Starfleet-turned-Maquis traitor, Michael Eddington. However, after serving under Sisko for a year and a half, Eddington knows the captain pretty well, and he uses it to outwit him. Sisko becomes obsessed with capturing Eddington, causing him to take more and more drastic action. At one point, the episode makes the audience wonder if Captain Sisko has indeed gone too far.
Commander, I said launch torpedoes.
For the Uniform is an awesome episode featuring a generous serving of Sisko's trademark yelling.
Major, shut that thing off! You betrayed your uniform!
Number 7. Call to Arms and A Time to Stand. This two-part episode marked a major shift in the series. This is when the Dominion War officially begins. With the Dominion sending entire fleets of warships through the wormhole on a regular basis, Sisko decides to stop it by mining the entrance to the wormhole. This prompts a response from the Dominion.
Whether you remove the mines, or we will take this station from you and remove them ourselves.
So the Dominion and the Cardassians attack the station. After buying enough time for the Defiant to mine the wormhole entrance, the Federation crew, along with Garrick, flee the station, leaving Kira, Odo, and Quark to welcome the Dominion. Then the episode ends on the coolest Star Trek cliffhanger since Best of Both Worlds. The second part is nothing to scoff at either. Kira struggles to adapt to working with the Dominion, while Sisko and the Defiant crew take on a new assignment in the war. Also, I think it's hilarious that the episode called A Time to Stand involves commandeering a Jem'Hadar attack ship, which has no chairs.
Pull up a chair.
Number 6. Rocks and Shoals. The episode that immediately follows A Time to Stand, Rocks and Shoals continues the Dominion War arc. Captain Sisko, Garrick, and the rest of the crew of the Defiant are stranded on a desolate planet, and so is a group of enemy Jem'Hadar and their Vorta leader. Both parties are in rough shape. Dax is injured, and so is Kivan, the Vorta leader. This episode offers one of the best insights into the Jem'Hadar. Third Ramaticlan, the lead Jem'Hadar, second only to the Vorta, has some fascinating conversations with Sisko.
You knew? I suspected. Despite what Kevin may think, the Jem'Hadar are often one step ahead of the Vorta.
Meanwhile, on Deep Space Nine, or Terok Nor as it is now known again, Kira is confronted by the horrifying idea that she's become an apologist for the Dominion. It's a seriously good episode with great action and complex themes.
Do you really want to give up your life for the order of things? It is not my life to give up, Captain. And it never was.
Number 5. Homefront and Paradise Lost. Not unlike the Next Generation episode The Drumhead, the two-part episode Homefront and Paradise Lost is a story that has a disturbing relevance to today. After a covert changeling attack on Earth, Sisko and Odo go to Starfleet headquarters to assist Admiral Layton with anti-changeling security measures. Unfortunately, it soon becomes apparent that things on Earth are worse than Sisko and Odo thought, and they begin pushing for harsher and harsher security measures. However, unbeknownst to the heroes, a faction within Starfleet plans to use these security measures to structure a new, militarized Federation government. This episode is brilliantly written, making it extremely difficult to figure out who is morally right. It really showcases the power of fear and paranoia.
You actually thought I was one of them, didn't you?
I don't know. I wasn't sure.
Number 4. One Little Ship. I love this episode. I think it's so entertaining and creative. The episode opens with the crew of the Defiant studying a subspace compression anomaly. Dax, O'Brien, and Bashir fly into the anomaly in the runabout Rubicon, while tethered to the Defiant via tractor beam for an experiment. However, everything goes wrong when a Jem'Hadar ship attacks the Defiant. The Jem'Hadar take over the Defiant, and the Rubicon is launched through the anomaly, causing it and its crew to shrink.
If we're this big, well, that means the Rubicon is, what, this big? More or less.
Our shrunken heroes must take the Rubicon into the Defiant and help Sisko and the others retake the ship. It's a fantastic, fun episode that puts things in a new perspective and sheds light on a new side of the Jem'Hadar that wasn't seen before.
I'm a prisoner. I have
The
no
first may be a
intention.
fool, but I am not.
Then it is a pity for you that you are not the first.
Number 3. In the Pale Moonlight. Perhaps one of the most famous DS9 episodes, In the Pale Moonlight is well known for good reason. It's a beautiful study of the question, do the ends justify the means? After seeing the alarming course of the Dominion War, Captain Sisko decides to bring it upon himself to bring the currently neutral Romulans into the war on their side. He enlists the help of the enigmatic ex-Cardassian agent Garrick to find evidence of Dominion treachery against the Romulans. But the Dominion has increased its security around Cardassia. This brings Sisko to a radical idea.
If you want to guarantee that we obtain evidence of a Dominion plot to attack the Romulans, I suggest that we manufacture that evidence ourselves.
This leads into a web of deals, bribes, and lies, wrapping up with a chilling monologue from Sisko.
I lied. I cheated. I bribed men to cover the crimes of other men. I am an accessory to murder. But the most damning thing of all, I think I can live with it.
Number 2. Favor the Bold and Sacrifice of Angels. This two-part episode is epic in every sense of the word. Starfleet must retake Deep Space Nine from the Dominion, but they face a ticking clock as Gul Dukat prepares to destroy the Starfleet minefield and bring Dominion reinforcements through the wormhole. Most of the episode Favor the Bold is a suspenseful setup for Sacrifice of Angels, which is primarily about the battle to retake the station. On Deep Space Nine, Major Kira, Quark, and their friends work to sabotage the Dominion's efforts, while Captain Sisko leads a Federation fleet in the biggest space battle in the entire franchise up to that point. This sequence right here makes my brain so happy, I can't even say. I also love the interactions between Weyoun and Dukat in this episode.
War is such thirsty work. Don't you agree?
Perhaps if you didn't talk so much, your throat wouldn't get so dry.
Watching this episode always brings a smile to my face. Number 1. The Way of the Warrior. This double-length episode was the start of DS9 hitting its stride. It was also the fantastic introduction of Worf to the show, after having become a fan favorite on The Next Generation. A large fleet of Klingon ships arrive at Deep Space Nine, but they won't give a real reason for their visit. After reasoning that
The only people who can really handle the Klingons are Klingons.
Captain Sisko enlists the help of none other than Lieutenant Commander Worf of the Enterprise D. It's soon revealed that the Klingon Empire believes that the newly reformed Cardassian government is under the control of changelings, and plan to remove said government. Since the Klingons have no proof of their claim, this triggers a conflict between the Federation and the Klingons. Sisko must rescue the Cardassian Council and defend Deep Space Nine against a Klingon attack.
He said, "Today is a good day to die."
This double-length episode is nothing short of awesome. Full of Klingon drama, space battles, and more unforgettable moments.
Nice hat.
So there they are, my top 10 episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So what do you think? Am I right on, or am I completely insane? Let me know in the comments below. Live long and prosper, and Nuclear Films, out.